But let's go, if we can, to the most recent fiasco in Virginia Republican history, the 5th District. It was considered to be a convention, but they're holding nothing on Chick-fil-A when it comes to efficiency of drive-thrus. Anyone want to comment on that corrupt mess?
I was actually,
Yeah.
I was actually at that convention. You know what? I'm still in kind of shock that I think they wanted to keep us on our toes long enough so they could cook up an election result. I think there's definite pay to play going on. I think there's definite rigging of election results. I think Riggleman has absolutely the right to sue, and I think he should. I fear that the Republican Party, who has made great steps towards marriage equality, especially with Judge Gorsuch's opinion this week, it was a hard one to swallow. And I'm brokenhearted for my friend Denver Riggleman. I wish that we had a different outcome, and I'm worried about the party. I don't think Bob Good can unite the party. I'm going to be very honest. I don't think Bob Good can unite Republican voters, because those Riggleman supporters that I saw are furious with him. They feel like they got robbed, and they're not going to go over to the quote-unquote, which I hate this term, it makes me gag, biblically bright red conservative, and they're not going to go over that easily. And I don't know if they go at all. So I'm brokenhearted for my friend.
Yeah, I don't. My latest intel is that I think July 7th is the deadline for filing, for having the State Board of Elections certify Bob Good as the candidate to be on the ballot. Currently, I don't think he's legally on the ballot. And that's going to be a determining factor whether Riggleman gets back in as an independent and can run. So we'll see about that. Always interesting in Virginia politics. Brian, you want to jump on that?
You know, to be honest, I think the marriage equality stuff that tends to be a smokescreen. I think what happened in the fifth district is exactly what has been happening in districts and in committees around Virginia. It's not about the elected official anymore. It's not about what they do or what they don't do. It's really about who controls the decision over who gets to run for office.
Yeah.
And I think this was a situation where the 5th district, they had a small group of people who felt like they weren't consulted, and Denver got in there somehow last time, and he wasn't their guy. And since he didn't want to play ball, they made sure to take him out and put in somebody that would. So I think this has less to do with policy, less to do with anybody's views on any issues or who officiated a wedding or anything, and more about simply more people, more examples of the dysfunction of our party apparatus and putting all the control over who gets to run for office in the hands of a small number of people.
Yep. I don't think that's inaccurate, but I think the question is really the level of, or the ordering of the magnitudes. I think that is the number one magnitude in this, but the accelerant as the excuse to get more people to show up, because that can't sell by itself. What can sell is being upset on the same-sex marriage officiating that Denver did.
Well,
if this game's
I don't think that was the
one at a time class. Hands. We use hands here. There we go, Andrea. There we go.
I know that the officiating the marriage it did matter, but I watched the appeal before the actual convention, where they had gone all the way up to the State Central Committee, and you've got a district the size of, according to that presentation, the size of New Jersey, and you have one polling place, and it was so tightly controlled by a handful of people that there was absolutely no way that any other, and I thought it was important. They had voted to have the convention at the Tree of Life Ministries, but there's 2 Tree of Life Ministries in the 5th district, and they didn't decide which one during the actual meeting, during the actual vote. That didn't come out until the call. And then they picked one where you had some delegates were going to have to drive, round trip 10 hours?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the whole thing was set up from beginning to end. It was
How many of you consider the whole process corrupt? Raise your hand.
moi.
Hands. Okay, everyone's got them up there. Okay, let's. I assume screen's frozen there. Do you think Bob Good's going to be on the ballot? Yes or no? Raise your hand. Yes. You'll think he'll be on the ballot? No. Wow. You do, Lynn. You'll think he'll be on the ballot?
No, I have a question.
Go
Are you
ahead.
talking about on the ballot because of the missing the deadline, that he won't be on for that? Is that what you're talking about?
Do you think SBE certifies him on the ballot as a Republican
Okay.
because he didn't fill his paperwork out?
Okay.
I don't. I think the trend here is that you didn't fill out your paperwork. That's what they did last time to Nick Freitas and who was the other person in Hampton Roads that got
McGuire has a paperwork problem, I believe.
currently John McGuire in the 7th.
Help me out, guys. I think so.
That's Nick
No,
Freitas.
it's Freitas has got the current problem. McGuire's got a problem with his fundraising numbers. He's done some funky. That's what I'm
reporting
seeing on
issues.
Twitter.
Okay.
Okay.
They'll clear that up. They got too many good people working on that campaign. Let that linger. All right. So you don't think Bob Good makes it on the ballot? Does Denver Riggleman run as an independent, and does he win?
I think so.
I think he can. I think if Bob Good is not on the ballot, Denver runs and Denver wins because he's got more money and he's got an army. And I think he wins.
Okay. Anybody else on the 5th?
I have to agree with Matt. I think, at the end of the day, if Denver decides to run, he's got his base of support, and I think he'll get pretty considerable crossover because of the marriage equality issue. And if the Democrats run a weak candidate or they don't run someone, I mean, the 5th is not fertile territory for them by any means. I think he's got a good shot at pulling it off.
Okay. Very good. DJ, final thoughts on the 5th congressional nomination?
I don't think the SBE is going to interfere in a nomination process, however disastrous it was. I think they will allow Bob Good to be on the ballot, and whether Bob Good wins or loses, that district will look entirely different in 2022.
Okay. It's fair. It's going to be a lot more Northern Virginia centric, probably going into Prince William County there and then up into Loudoun maybe.
I'm thinking I'm actually thinking it's easier for them to rope in Roanoke than it would be to go up into Northern Virginia. I think Northern Virginia is going to be about cementing the 10th.
Okay, but you got to do something with the 6th. You just can't,
Well, you can take Northern Fauquier and Greene and Madison and maybe some areas on the other side of Roanoke. Move the 9th out east a little. That's turn the 6th and 9th into Republican vote sinks.
Here's the question on everyone's mind about the new 5th district. Will it include the actual site of the convention for this year?
That's a good question now, isn't it?
I play from the back tees, Brian. It's plain and it's simple right now.
It
All right,
will not include Lynchburg. I'll bet every dollar in my pocket it won't include Lynchburg.
How much money's in your pocket right now? Because I'm
not
going to determine whether I make a bet.
Not $100.
I'm not taking that bet. Nope.
Who carries cash?
No bet.